You're a parent and you want to take care of your family even better than you're taking care of them, but it seems like you take 2 steps forwards, takes 3 steps back. If this is you, this video is for you. I'm going to tell you exactly what you have been doing to yourself unknowingly, and if we can fix that, you fix everything. The problem with what you got right now is focus. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why you being made in the image of God and you being a creator, and when I say God, I don't mean a biblical or religious God, I mean just the source of your life. And so you being the source, the creator of your life, has a big benefit and has a huge problem, and I'm gonna tell you what that problem is. So the first thing that I have to let you know is your problem is not because you're not working hard enough. You know you're working hard enough. Like, you understand, you punch the clock every single day. You might have your own business. You might give it all you got. And then you're a parent. Then you give your kids all you got. I mean, you are going at it with everything that you have in terms of parenting. You try to put your kids to sleep at night every single day. You're waking up making breakfast for everybody, and you feel left out and left behind. Your husband doesn't pay attention to you. Your wife doesn't respect you. And you're just like, what in the world is going on? Why am I living this life like this? Does it sound like you? All right, so if it sounds like you, just continue to listen to this, because I have your answer for you. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is we have to recognize what the problem is, and the problem is focus. All right, because whatever you focus on, or whatever you recognize, you energize. I'm gonna say that again. Whatever you recognize, you energize. So as a parent, if you're recognizing things that you don't like in your life, well, you're giving energy to that very thing. So what I have to get you to start doing is I have to start getting you to start recognizing different things in your life. Okay, so here's one of the things that I need you to begin to do every single day. First of all, you have to start out the day with gratitude. And I don't mean that gratitude which just says, hey, I'm just thankful for the stars, I'm thankful for the skies. Like, that's part of it. I get it. But like, you have to find something in your life that you are literally grateful for. Like, you just have to do that, because if you don't do that, or you try to be grateful for things that you don't have, it's going to feel like you're lying to yourself. And again, at the very end of this video, I'll tell you why that's part of your creative process, or being the creator, and why that's messing you up. So the first thing is you have to be grateful for something that you currently have in your possession, something that you currently have in your life. For example, I just remember when I was struggling. If you guys know me, I played in the NFL for 8 years, got everything stolen from me after I got done playing in the NFL, was absolutely broke for a while, had my power cut off, mortgage behind a mortgage, like all the things that happen when you're broke. I had all those things happen. And so at that lowest time, when I was in the middle of depression and all this kind of stuff, the thing that I could do, or the thing that I had to do, is I had to focus on something that I had that I could be grateful for. Like, I have this tree in my front yard. I'll tell you, I love this tree, ladies and gentlemen. I love this tree. This tree makes me happy every time I look at it. So every single day, I had to go over to that tree and I had to be thankful for it. I had to like look at it. I had to touch it. I had to do everything I could for that tree, because that was the only thing that I could consistently find that was my own, that I could be thankful for. And so that's what I was so happy about, was I had one thing that I could be thankful for. And guess what ends up happening? When you start being thankful for one thing that you have, then you start looking for other things that you have. And that's the problem with the whole manifestation community sometimes, is we just talk so much about this gratitude thing and be grateful for things. And I'll be honest with you, man, some of that stuff doesn't work, because you're just trying to make yourself be grateful for something instead of becoming natural. And that's one of the things that you have to do as being part of this human species. Like, we all know fake. I mean, we just do. We all know what inauthenticity looks like. So, on the scales of frequency and vibration, it has been said that the highest level of frequency for the human species is the frequency not of love, not of passion, not of eroticism, but realistically, it is authenticity. Like that's when we're at our highest, when we're being authentic. So if the manifestation community tells you that you need to be grateful for everything in your life, well then there's a lot of things that I ain't grateful for. And if I gotta make myself be something that I ain't, guess what that is? That's not being authentic, okay? And so that's a very low frequency. And so therefore, the gratitude aspect of things a lot of time is throwing a lot of you guys off and is making things a lot harder for you because you're not authentic in what it is that you're saying. So that's the first thing, okay? So whatever you focus on, you recognize. So what are we going to start focusing on right now? We're going to start focusing on things that we have that we like. And what I need you to do is another thing that the manifestation community always talks about is removing your attention away from the material world. Bro, I'll be honest with you, that mess is impossible. I mean, it really is. That stuff is not possible. It is not possible to remove your attention away from the thing that has your attention. Like it's almost a thing that you have to force yourself to not pay attention to the thing. I don't believe in that, because the life that I want you to live is I want you to live a life that's not about forcing things. I want you to live a life that's by naturalness. I love, one of my favorite people in all of history is Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla says, every thought or every action done under compulsion takes away life force. I have never paid such a price. I have lived by my thoughts. Basically, what the greatest inventor in history is saying, that he never forced himself to do anything. It was always a natural compulsion. He said, and another thing that he said, if work is the equivalent of labor done in a specific and scheduled time, he said, I might be the most the biggest idler in history. So if work is something that is done on a specific schedule, he said, I'm the biggest idler of all time. Basically, he's saying he's lazy. But he said, if work is the equivalent of thought, then I'm the hardest worker that ever lived. I have lived by my thoughts. Every action done under compulsion takes away life force, and I have never paid such a price. Nikola Tesla. Now, here's the thing. If the dude who could work for 36 hours straight, which he did, if the dude could invent modern electricity, which he did, or put it into practical use, then what can you do? Now, what does this have to do with taking your attention away or putting your attention on something else? All right, so most of the times, again, in the manifestation community, especially if you heard anything by like Neville Goddard, it says, remove your attention away from the material world. What I like to say is put your attention on something that reflects what you would like to have in your life. That's the only way to do it, because what happens is when you try to just remove your attention or remove something, it's just like somebody who's an alcoholic. Okay, so I know plenty of alcoholics. I used to actually have a problem with drinking myself. And I would always tell myself that I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm just gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna stop drinking. And I could do it for a while, willpower. I could do it for a little bit, but then I go out to the club with my boys. And then I say, okay, well, instead of not drinking, I'm just gonna have one drink. Okay, then after the first one is everybody's having fun, then 2 drinks. And then after that, well, you already know what happens. Like, you end up having, 12 drinks and having me a ball. Why? What ended up happening is willpower is not enough. It has to be something that comes from within. It has to be the work like Nikola Tesla that comes from within. He could work for 36 hours straight, not because he made himself work, but it was something inside of him that drove him to do that very thing. So that's exactly what I want for you, is that you have to understand how to not just take your attention away from materiality, but put your attention onto something that drives you. So, for example, let's say you're having a financial issue right now, okay? Look, financial issues are tough. Them things are real, all right? Them things hurt. I don't care what you say. Let me get some more light. There we go. Them things are real. Yeah, them things hurt. So what I need you to do is, instead of trying to ignore the financial issue. Like, you can't ignore when the phone calls. You can ignore the call, but you can't ignore the feelings that come along with the car. Holla if you hear me. Okay? So what I need you to do is I need you to put your attention onto something that you absolutely love. I mean, like, absolutely love. That's so important. Just like I did with that tree, I wasn't trying to ignore what was wrong in my life. I just put my attention onto something that I absolutely loved. So now I'll put my attention on the things that I do love all the time. I love Lamborghinis. So every single day, I'm going to find a Lamborghini to look at. Like, I just love them. What am I doing? I'm putting my attention onto something that I absolutely love. What else does that do? Like with a Lamborghini? Well, I don't just put my attention on it. I see myself as the one that has it with my attention. So this is so important about things that you love, because then once you find those things that you love that you can put your attention on, then you start seeing yourself as the one that has it already. And this is right in line to what all the manifestation community says, is that you have to see yourself as already having it. But until you can find the thing that you absolutely love, the thing that you can put your attention on, not take your attention away from the other things, because naturally that's just what happens. See, you can't remove your attention from something. So there's a Bible verse that I absolutely love. And when I talk about the Bible, you guys should know by now that I look at the Bible as a book of psychology more than I do as a book of theology. I like saying it like this: theology might get you to heaven, but psychology will get heaven to you. And I want heaven right here, right now. I ain't trying to wait till I die. I don't know what happens after I die. Don't matter. But I need heaven right here, right now. So Jesus says, he says, when an evil spirit goes out of somebody, it goes and looks for a place to call itself home. And then when it can't find another place to call home, it comes back to the person that it left from, and it sees in the environment all clear, all organized, all empty. And it comes back home to that person and brings 7 other demons or 7 other spirits, even worse. So that person is in worse shape at the end than they were at the beginning. Okay, so what does that mean? So what that means is, like, it's just like, remember when I told you about when I said I'm going to stop drinking, right? So I said I'm going to stop. So I threw the bottle away. So that bottle, it went out looking for a place to call home. And then when it couldn't find a place to call home, when I was at the club, that bottle came right back. And it made its home right in my mouth, and 7 other bottles along with it. So that's exactly what that means, is when you try to just take your attention away from something, take your attention away from the problem, do you know what ends up happening? Man, it comes back even worse. And you know this with every single thing in life. People do it with drinking, people do it with drugs, people do it with food. Like, we all do it. But when you can put your attention on, your focus on to the thing that you love, then you have automatically taken your attention off the thing that you don't want. That's how this thing works. You never start by stopping. You always start by starting. So that's the next thing that I need you to do, is put your attention on the thing that you absolutely love. And so what does this have to do with your creative power? Like, what does this have to do? And like this video real quick and subscribe. Okay, like and subscribe. But anyway, like, what does this have to do with being a creator? Okay, like, this is so important because you are always creating. You have been made in the image of God, God. Whatever you call him, her, or it doesn't matter. But you have been made in that being's image. Whatever made all of us made you, okay, in the same image. So the very first thing that God in the Bible, the scriptures, whatever you want to call it, did was to create. That's the first thing. So when you're made in the Creator's image, do you know that you've been made to create? Now, you are always creating. Now, I want you to get this. I'm going to get closer. You are always creating. You're either creating what you want or what you don't want. And it comes by, we think that a thought isn't creative, okay, a lot of times, or not, it's not creating a thing, so to speak. But a thought is creating a feeling. And oh my goodness, this is so important, because right now, do you know, I'm not just creating a video. I am creating the feeling the enjoyment, the positive endorphins of creating this video and expressing myself. I absolutely love doing this. And so therefore, regardless if this gets 100 views, 1,000 views, 10,000 views, 1,000,000 views, you know, the feelings that I got from just recording this right now, it is creating. See, that's what I do. So whenever you do something, you have to understand, first and foremost, you are creating feelings. And we all know that feeling gets the blessing. That's just what people say. So if I can get you to understand that when you look at something, when you watch something, you're not just watching, you are literally creating. So if you go on social media or Instagram or whatever, and you're just scrolling through and then something catches your eye, right? But even just scrolling through, and when they call it doom scrolling, I don't know why they call it that, but what you're doing is you're creating a feeling of absentness, of escaping, right? That's the feeling that you're creating. When you go and you find something that you like or that you don't like, let's say you go watch the news, and you start creating these feelings that the world is a bad place, like that, but you are creating that. So don't think that just because I'm watching a creator, or like you're watching me, dude, you are actually creating by watching, because you have made the decision to turn on your phone or open an app and watch this. So therefore you are creating, you're creating a feeling. You might not be creating a video. It might seem like you're absorbing my words, but in reality, you have made the decision to create some feelings by turning on the app. So this is one of the biggest problems and the biggest benefit of being made in God's image, that you are always creating. You're either creating what you want or what you don't want. So this is what I need for you to do every single day. Number one, watch me. But number two is I need you to start being a conscious creator. When you make some food, enjoy the fact that you are making food that's making good taste buds and good feelings for yourself. Like when you drive a car, I want you to start consciously realizing that you are driving and you are creating the experience of getting somewhere quicker than you would walking. You are creating the experience. I'm in my car right now. You're creating the experience of having air conditioning on, what gives you a good feeling, a good cool feeling. Like you're creating all of these experiences, you're creating all of these feelings, and so therefore you can start creating feelings. Because that's ultimately what it is. Even when you, like a bill collector calls, right? You ignore the phone call, but even ignoring it, it still creates a feeling. So what if you can start every single day creating many more positive feelings than negative feelings? Okay, like you can't help that the bill collector called, and you can't really help that you didn't answer it. It's okay. Right, but what we can do is we can start being conscious creators and say, okay, as much as I possibly can today, I'm going to create the feelings that I desire, because I know that if I can create more feelings that I desire and less of what I don't, then the ones that I want will override the ones that I don't want, and my life has to change. Why? Because I'm a creator. And this is what I want for you guys. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I will be posting more content just like this. I actually love this because it's just super easy. And guys, you are so amazing. I want you to know that you are loved. And remember, I always say that life is easy because life is automatic. Life is automatic because it's based upon law. Life is not easy because it's without effort. Life is easy because it's automatic. Like Nikola Tesla, it was easy for him to work 36 hours a day, or 36 hours a day, 36 hours over the course of time straight. Why? Because it was automatic, because he had something inside of him that drove him. It was a law that's deep down inside of him that drove him, and I want the same thing for you. Again, remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.